What's up, YouTube? Bay Area Baller back again. Woo! We got a big game coming up here on Sunday. 49ers, Cowboys. They're meeting in the divisional round. It's going on at Levi Stadium. And the 49ers are the better football team. You guys know it. I know it. But the Niners need to come out and play their A game. All right. If they come out and they play a C game, C plus game, and Dallas plays their A game, could be trouble. I don't expect that to happen. This team's going to be prepared. I mean, the 49ers are better coached than the Cowboys. They have more talent. They should win this game. But just to make sure and lock it in, come out, play your A game, take care of the football, run it on Dallas. This show is going to be predicated on the chat. Chat's already going off. We're going to be bringing up comments all night. So if you're watching, make sure you're leaving. Kels, what's popping? Thanks for rolling through. That's my boy E. Kim. Heard you on Cone Phone. E. Kim, great call. I also talked to Grant, and we'll get to that a little later. Damian Lee, thanks for coming by. But the Niners are the better football team. They're better coached, and so they should come out with a dub. But I did go back and watch last year's game. As we know, 49ers played the Cowboys last year in the wild card round. So I went back and I watched that. One thing I noticed, 49ers kicked 3 field goals in the first half. Feels like this Brock Purdy offense has been having a lot of success in the red zone. And with Jimmy G, they were settling for field goals, right? In addition, late in the game, Jimmy had a bad interception. So that game, well, I think it finished up 23-17. Probably shouldn't have been that close, to be honest. And the Niners are a better football team, a way better football team this year, in my opinion. And the Cowboys, they lost Amari Cooper, but the Cowboys might be a little bit better this year. Tony Pollard's taking his game to another level. I think CeeDee Lamb's even taking his game to another level. We'll talk about the Cowboys later. But first thing I wanted to say is the 49ers need to come out and play their A game. That way there's no doubt about it. All right. Why don't we give some of these individual players some shine? All right. Starting off with that man himself, Brock Purdy, the leader of this 49er offense. He's doing more than just game managing. All right. How many chunk plays did we see last week against the Seahawks? Right. It was just chunk plays, 20-yard dig routes, busting wide open over the middle. Hey, while you're watching, like this video. That way we get the algorithm going. We get some more people popping in. So we really get these comments flowing. So hit the like. But we're talking Brock Purdy. And in tandem, Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, they were just in complete harmony last week. Kyle Shanahan was in his bag, scheming it up. I even saw Danny Gray out there stretching the field, but threatening the long distance pass only to open up the 20-yard dig routes over the middle where these guys were just running free. Now, Cowboys, they're going to play a different style of defense. So, that exact concept might not work with the same success, albeit, Shanahan tailors his game plan to whoever he's playing. And we know that he's spent time with Dan Quinn. He knows what Dan Quinn's doing philosophically. It's not the same cover 3. When Dan Quinn was with the Seahawks, right, it was cover 3, like all day, live or die by cover 3. But now they're mixing up, some zone, some cover 1. But I expect Kyle Shanahan, this offense, to have success mainly because of Brock Purdy, right? The improvisation that Brock Purdy's been playing with, it's been refreshing to see, right? Improvisation wasn't one of Jimmy's strengths, and it's one of Brock's. And when you see him make a play, it's like, whoa. He gets out of the pocket, hits a guy on the run. We saw him hit Eli Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey, both of those kind of flat touchdown passes. He had to escape. He had to make somebody miss or escape the pocket and make a play. And that's what Brock's been doing so well. Now, I will say it did look like, I know that he didn't throw a pick last week, but it did look like a couple balls comes like, he tried to fit it in a tight hole between a couple linebackers or a linebacker and a DB. And they weren't picked, but it's just something to monitor. We got to take care of the football because Larry Kruger, shout out Krug, put out a statistic where the 49ers are 14-0 when they win the turnover battle, or maybe that's when they win or tied. But when they've lost the turnover battle, they're 0-4. That's a Krug stat. So let's take care of the football because that's the recipe for success. Let's go back to the comments, see what's flowing. Yeah, what's up, D. Lee? E. Kim says, what do you think of the reshuffled offensive line of the Cowboys? I'm probably going to pull up the Cowboys depth chart here in a little bit, Kim, so we can get to it more in depth. I know the Cowboys started Jason Peters last week at left tackle. He went down, and they moved a guard. I believe it's Tyler Smith from guard to tackle. Tyler Smith's played a lot of tackle this season. Cowboys have been shuffling their offensive line around, it feels like, all year, right? Tyron Smith missed a chunk of the season with his injury. And when he came back, they moved Tyron Smith, former All-Pro, to right tackle, which he had always been, or for the majority of his career, he's been a left tackle. And PFF had something interesting to say about Tyron Smith. Let's just say his PFF grade isn't too high, so they're not thinking highly of his level of play. So Bosa, we know Bosa's moving all around. We'll see where he lines up. Bebop Jones, thanks for coming by. Hey, fellas, you aren't going to want to miss, after I talk about some players, and please let the comments fly. You're not going to want to miss the crystal ball predictions. All right, I got a freaking crystal ball I'm about to whip out, and we're going to make some predictions. Chat can make predictions along with me. We're not there yet. That's going to be a little, maybe 15, 20. We got to milk it a little bit, but you don't want to miss crystal ball predictions. When I got off the freeway coming home, right, when I'm cruising, I like to take the scenic route downtown Walnut Creek on the way home, just drive right by. You already know I was bumping Bang Bang Niner Gang on repeat, windows down, subs blaring, just turned it up because it's that time of year. It's time to get fired up. Let's get it. Niner Gang Wolfcast. Thanks for coming by. E. Kim says, great call on Comb Phone. Thanks, Kim. We're not taking callers. We're taking comments. You guys are driving the show today. I do have a list of topics I'm going to hit on, but the chat is driving the show today. So leave whatever comments, however you're feeling. I mean, right now, Brock Purdy's on the screen. You see him. So let me know your thoughts on Brock Purdy. Kim says, I want to see the 49ers D-line dominate the Cowboys offensive line. Cowboys O-line, it's not bad. It's not bad. But I want to see that as well. And Kim, Bosa's Bosa. And, you hear a stat, 1 sack in 3 games. I think it's a small sample size. I think Bosa is still been making impacts on these games. I mean, he won a couple he had a couple pressures last week where he won instantly, although Geno Smith just got the ball out real quick, so Bosa couldn't quite get there. He was also big time in the run game, making tackles for loss, just bullying people. So Bosa's big time. Now, Charles Omenihu has been playing great, right? We all saw Omenihu was big time last week. He had 2 sacks, almost had like 4 sacks, if you want to be honest. It was another play where he just had Geno Smith wrapped up, but Geno ended up breaking away. But Omenihu's been playing big time. Eric Armstead is playing good ball, man. He's been an immovable object, is what he is. He's also pressuring the quarterback, man. Armstead's playing good ball. He is earning his money right now. We'll touch more on this in a little bit, Kim. Swan song. That's like his signature wave. What up, Swan? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, Cowboys have a rookie playing at left tackle. It's a Smith. They have a rookie Smith, and obviously they have the former All-Pro veteran Tyron Smith. So they got a couple Smiths out there at the bookend tackle position. Now, finishing up on Brock, take care of the ball. And the dude's a playmaker, man. Brock Purdy is a playmaker. That's just what he does, dude. The kid makes plays. And I'm expecting more of the same. Let's see who we got next. Deebo Samuel. Deebo's back, man. He was running with physicality last week against the Seahawks, running people over. We saw Jonathan Abram have that dirty play, twisted his ankle after the play. We also saw his long touchdown, catch and run. Deebo's looking explosive, right? The explosiveness is back, that's just what makes Deebo so special. His ability to accelerate, his physicality. I mean, Deebo's big time, and it was good to see him have such a great game coming off the injury, right? Because we didn't know, is he 100% out there? How's he moving, right? Well, she showed that Deebo's feeling good. He's moving well. He's fast. He's physical. So Deebo's a big-time threat. And you know what? I want to say, let's get Deebo the ball on some jet sweeps, right? I feel like we haven't seen that quite as much. That was more like a 2019, like when we went on that Super Bowl run. Deebo felt like 2, 3, 4 jet sweeps a game, and he was making stuff happen with it. So, and you can do that with Christian McCaffrey too. Give them both some jet sweeps, right? I did see McCaffrey running across the field, in a jet sweep type motion, but they're handing it to Deebo. So Kyle's utilizing these weapons, man. This offense has been so explosive. It's been so fun to watch. And again, I'm going to mention how it's been explosive, right? With Jimmy, how many times did we have to go on these 15, 17, 20 play drives to get the ball moving, right? Brock Purdy, you saw it last week. There's chunk plays all over the place, right? He hit Jawan up the sideline. Maybe it wasn't a perfect throw, but it was great touch, right? He had to layer that ball. Should he have kept the throw maybe a little more towards the sideline? Could have been a touchdown maybe. But, hey, how many times have we seen 49ers quarterbacks just miss that throw, right? I can envision Jimmy's missed that multiple times, that little sideline touch throw. Mullins missed one wide open to Juszczyk. I remember it might have been a Monday night football game. Trey Lance had one in Chicago, although those conditions were rough, but he had Croft going up the sideline, kind of airmailed it to him. Purdy made it catchable, right? But anyway, Deebo's the man on the screen. I'm just happy that Deebo's back and just looking like the special talent that he is. Let's see what Swan's saying. Swan says he isn't the best technician, but Tyler Smith is an ox. Yeah, he's solid. He's been a solid player. It was a good value pick by the Cowboys. That burst on the 7-4 yard was a classic Deebo. That's what I'm saying, Swan. It was so refreshing to see because Deebo, let's be real, he didn't have the year that we expected him to have, that I expected him to have. I thought he was going to kind of duplicate and replicate what he did last year in terms of, accumulating the yards and the statistics. We know Deebo missed a few games with an injury. But Deebo's back, man, and he's a threat. Love to see it. Kim says, do you see Micah Parsons lining up over McGlinchey this game instead of Trent Williams? He's going to be moving all around, Kim. He's going to be lining up against Trent Williams at left tackle. He's going to be switching over to the right tackle and testing McGlinchey. I would probably guess that he would have most of his snaps over McGlinchey. That'd be my initial thought. Kind of put that strength against a potential weakness, which can be McGlinchey's pass blocking. So if I had to guess, he's lining up over McGlinchey more often, but they also put him over the center. Like he goes all over, Kim. Where they'll just blitz him up through the middle and try to get him to squeeze between, it'd be Brendel and Banks or Brendel, and Burford, try to get him in the gaps there. Yeah. Parsons is a special talent, man. The way he's big, but the way he doesn't move like he's 6'4" or 6'3", whatever he is. He moves like a smaller guy. He's just so quick and so fast. He's got elite burst. So you got to keep tabs on Parsons. Look at my boy Kelts. You already know, Kelts. Where's that thing at? There it is. There it is. Shout out to my boy Kelts. Kelts, you've been killing it with the content, man. I see Kelts putting out all these shorts and all these, and it motivates me, right? Because Kelts, he's my boy. We do the Straight Out of the Base show every Monday. We ain't missed one all season, right? With Jay in the Bay, the Dream. Shout out to my boys. But Kelts is putting out all this content, and I got the notifications on, so it motivates me. I'm like, you know what? I got to put out something too. Let me whip up a short. Let me cook something up. Chef Price in the house. Chef Baller. All right, so shout out to Kelts. Keep killing it with your content because you're doing great stuff, man. That's big time. All right, we talked about Debo. We'll see who we got next. George Kittle, right? Man, Brock Purdy has brought the best out of George Kittle, right? At least in the last few seasons. George Kittle's been playing phenomenal ball. I know he had a relatively quiet game in terms of targets and receptions last week. I know he had a nice chunk play over the middle. That goes back to Kyle Shanahan just scheming it up. But Brock's brought the best out of George Kittle, and he's still dominating in the run game. How good was the blocking last week, fellas? You see that Christian McCaffrey, 68-yard run or whatever that was? It was like there was an alley. You could drive a bus through that alley. You get a seal here and a seal there. And that's what was going. The blocking was phenomenal, and it has a lot to do with 85. 85 was paving the way. And we know how good he is after the catch. He's still tremendous after the catch. Both his catches, I believe he had 2 catches last week. Both of them went for first downs. One of them was this big chunk play down the field, and the other one, he caught the ball short of the first down marker, and he just went around a couple guys, fought for it, got the first down. I mean, that's Kittle, dude. That's a yak boy. So Kittle, he's going to be going up against, it could be Leighton Vander Esch, could be Anthony Barr, it could be one of the safeties, Curse. Yeah, I like Kittle in those matchups. I like Kittle in that matchup. Let's get back to the comments, see what's going down. Wolfcast said Brock is a baller. Guess you can say he's a Bay Area baller since he plays at SF now. I love it. Yeah, that's right, Niner gang. Really, though, the offense looks unstoppable with Purdy at quarterback. It looks really freaking good. Wolfcast, last week, not counting, when the 49ers ran out the clock, they ran 3 plays at the end of the game just to get the game over with. They had 9 possessions. The 49ers scored points on 8 of those 9 possessions. That was 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals, and it could have been 5 if Ayuk holds onto that ball in the back of the end zone, which that play was just redonkulous. Play was redonkulous. Again, that's going back to Purdy. But no doubt. Thanks for coming by, Wolfcast. Yeah, he says time for Debo to earn that money he's getting paid when it counts in the playoffs. That's right. It's like, hey, regular season, left a little something on the table. Left a little to be desired for Debo's regular season. But hey, you come out in the playoffs and you show out, you ball out. That's earning your money right there. Get a Super Bowl. Hey, you earned it. Jed will tell you, hey, man, you earned it. Super Bowl. Making plays in the playoffs. Shout out to my boy Crypto Ryan, No Border Sports. He was live earlier. I popped in there, said what's up to him. Him and my boy Waruna. Shout out to those two. Yeah, that was super cool. What is up with Tommy? What's up with Tommy? Here's what we got for Tommy. What we got for Tommy?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
Fairies, Tommy? You watching some Peter Pan?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
Shaking my head. Yeah. All right, let's see who we got next. We talked about George. George is making some plays. He's gonna run somebody over. He's gonna run somebody over this week. Let's see what player we got next. There he is. We're going to the little bear, Nick Bosa. Some people saying he's had a quiet few, 1 sack in 3 games, but Nick Bosa is Nick Bosa. All right. If you see how much attention this guy is commanding, they're chipping on him, they're double teaming him. Like this dude's commanding attention, which is opening up some things for guys like Eric Armstead, Charles Omenihu, Samson Ebelcam. Nick Bosa's a monster. We all know he's the defensive player of the year. Now, here's what I'm thinking, and let me know in the chat what you think. Where is Nick Bosa going to line up, right? Because initially, you could look at it and say, okay, well, they're playing the rookie left tackle that they just moved over from guard to tackle since Peters went down, which he's going to be going back and forth. But I might actually line him up more often, over the right tackle, Tyron Smith, because Tyron Smith's having a rough year. Not that I watch every snap of the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm looking at PFF's grade. He's one of their lowest graded offensive linemen. He has a PFF grade of 60, which is not where he's usually at, but he's coming back from an injury. They moved his position. So bounce Bosa around. Something I noticed against the Seahawks, he started out the game, like in the first half, he was lining up against the right tackle a lot. And at halftime, they made an adjustment. They switched him over to the left side, had him rush him against the left tackle. So it just tells you, he didn't have any sacks either way, facing either offensive lineman. Maybe we can get D'Amico can fire up some more stunts. Maybe have him loop in, because we've seen Bosa loop in on some stunts, get some free rushes at the quarterback. It might be a game where you want to loop in Nick Bosa. So let's see what's up with these comments. Tommy says, I've been around. That's what's up, Tommy. Wolfcast seam route for Kittle. Absolutely. Could be a seam route. Could be like a corner. I could see Purdy hitting him on a corner route. Kittle catches it, lays a stiff arm down, and then he's off to the races. Can't get sacks when Bosa's double teamed, chipped, and balls are thrown quickly. Kim, that's a great point, Kim. And that's exactly what I was trying to allude to. You worded it even better than I said it. He's getting double teamed, chipped, and every team's game plan is to get some balls out quick. All right, you can't be 5-step dropping, looking downfield against Nick Bosa and this defensive line. Offensive coordinators know that. Quarterbacks know that. So you're right. Teams are getting the ball out quick. It's like whenever we play Aaron Rodgers, it's all Rodgers just tries to do everything behind the line of scrimmage. And in this 49er defense, they're like a pack of wolves. They're coming after you. You're going to try to throw a little tunnel screen? Psh, come on, man. Fred Warner's blowing that up. He can. But when he's getting double teamed, that means more often than not, everyone else is single single man lined up. You got just a one-on-one rush. Bosa can take on double teams. Kilt said last year 49ers had 5 sacks on deck. Do we match that Sunday? 5 sacks is a lot of sacks. If I had to pick over under, obviously I'm hoping it's over, but I would probably bet under. But sacks aren't the end all be all, right? It's how much pressure do you get on Dak? Can you move him off his spot? Is he uncomfortable? Are there bodies around him? You want to push the pocket, squeeze him in there. So sacks aren't the end all be all. So you can still have a tremendous game from a pass rushing perspective and only have 3 or 4 sacks. So I'm going to take the under on the 5 sacks. Although I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if they ended up with 5 or more. Tommy says, we need Charles to have a huge game. Possibly Armstead and Givens. Need pressure in the middle. I love that. One guy you didn't mention, what about Kinlaw? I know, they've been monitoring his practice. He's been, taking some reps off. But Kinlaw's been out there. I saw him have a couple impact plays against the Seahawks, especially early. He was bullying, he was pushing people around early in that game. Is Charles O better than Sampson? They're 2 different players, right? Omenahu will play big end. He'll also shift inside to D-tackle. So they're different types of players. I would say this year, though, put a gun to my head, Charles Omenahu's been better than Samson Ebukam. And I also know Samson's been playing through an injury throughout the latter part of the season. Who do you see getting the most sacks in this game? I say Omenahu since he's from the Dallas area. He has some extra incentive, Kim. So you're going with Omenahu? I mean, if that's the case, I can't pick anyone other than Bosa. I'm rolling with Bosa. That's who I got, Kim. Tommy says Sosa's disappointing this year. Hyder also. I feel like Hyder's had his moments. Hyder's had some moments where he's making an impact on this game. Damn, the chat is flowing. Chat is flowing. I love it. Hey, hit the like. That way we get more people. Crystal ball predictions. You aren't going to want to miss the crystal ball. I got a freaking crystal ball right here. Okay, it's about to get turned. We're about to dim the lights and get it popping with crystal ball prediction. That's going to be in 5 or 10 minutes. So don't miss that. Whoa there. Blue True. Coming through. Where's it at? Talk to me. Here it is. Love it. Blue True, you're the man. Thank you for always being a supporter. He supports a lot of content creators. I see him. He comes through, feels like every Monday with the Straight Out of the Bay crew. So shout out to Blue True. That's big time right there. All right, we hit on Bosa. Yeah. Okay. CMC's the last guy before we get to our crystal ball predictions. All right. First, let me catch up on these comments, dude, because these comments are freaking flowing. Wolfcast says, I hit Kittle on the corners in Madden all day. So, yeah, no doubt. What I love with George Kittle on Madden is he's got the hot route. You can literally put George Kittle on any route in the game. Love that. Niner Sickness says, what up, Faithful? What up, Beto? Kinlaw isn't stuff in the run like the pick hasn't panned out like we've envisioned, Tommy. You just hope that he can make some impact plays in this playoff run. It's not too late. Make an impact right now. You're out there, go make a play. Push the pocket. Just push the guard right into Dak's face and have him throw up a prayer, right? I want picks and 3 and outs. So, yeah, it's a good recipe. It's a good recipe for success right there. Real talk. Pressures creates a gang of chaos. Absolutely. It's hard to play quarterback when you got bodies all around you. You're getting squeezed. You got, defensive linemen hitting your throwing arm when you're trying to get rid of it. They're tugging on your jersey. Yeah. Platform 246. Thanks for coming by. Omenu's also a free agent after the season. Yeah, what's funny? I was just thinking that, but it's like, hey, we're in the middle of this run, so you think about that at a later date, but somebody might pay Charles Omenihu. And to be honest, what thought ran through my head was wherever D'Amico Ryan goes, he might want to bring Charles with him. Just sometimes when you're a new coach, you want to build that culture, right? How many times have we seen Kyle Shanahan bring in, players that he's had previously, right? Like when he brought in Pierre Garcon, brought in Trent Williams. Like there's a long list of guys that I won't think of them all off the top of my head, but there's a list, right? Tevin Coleman. There's a long list. So I could see D'Amico Ryan's doing something similar. He goes to coach wherever he's at, and then brings in Charles Omenihu just to help set the tone, set the culture. You have a guy in the defensive line room who knows what's going on, knows the system, knows the scheme. Brock went from 2 TDs a game to 3, then 4, 5 TDs for Brock. That one counts. I don't see a 5 TD game. I do think this Cowboy defense is pretty good. This pass rush is good. The secondary is solid. So I don't see 5 TDs. I'd be ecstatic with 3 because I'm expecting another 2 on the ground. I heard Dan Quinn going to try to condense the pocket because Brock isn't very tall. Maybe try and block his passing. I mean, it's a good philosophy. If I was a defensive coordinator, I would be telling the D-line, hey, keep this guy in the pocket. Right? Because we see what he does when he's able to escape. He can throw on the run. He's got good improvisational skills. So I would tell my D-line to keep Purdy in the pocket, if I was on the other end. The Cowboys struggled just containing Deebo Samuel last year. What are they going to do with a heavy dose of not just Deebo, but also Christian McCaffrey? That's a great point, Beto. Because in my opinion, the 49ers need to run the ball effectively. Run it down the Cowboys' throat. Because the Cowboys, they got a good pass rush. They're better against the pass than they are against the run. So the 49ers need to have success on the ground. And let's also get Purdy some easy completions, right? Remember, we always talked about the Jimmy gimmies, right? The little quick stuff behind the line of scrimmage, some jet sweeps, some wide receiver screens that the 49ers block so well. I mean, the way the block, I can't compliment the 49ers blocking enough. Their blocking scheme is just really good. It's spectacular. They just know the defensive formation and where the flow is and how to block it. So kudos to whoever's helping out that blocking scheme the 49ers have. Yeah. Cue that song. Parsons on the best left tackle in the league. I like that matchup in our favor. I like Parsons. If he's lining up against Trent Williams, I like that matchup for the 49ers. Now, Parsons is not going to line up against Trent Williams exclusively. They're going to move him around. But if they were to keep him against Trent Williams, I think that would be a mistake first and foremost, but I would welcome that. Just by eliminating the mistakes that Jimmy Garoppolo made last year, we would have won a lot. We would have won by a lot. Yeah, Jimmy had that bad interception in the fourth quarter of that game against the Cowboys. I just went back and watched that game. 49ers kicked 3 field goals in the first half, right? Brock Purdy's better in the red zone than Jimmy is. He's going to convert some of those into touchdowns. Well, we did eliminate Jimmy Garoppolo altogether and replaced him with Brock Purdy. Yeah. Jacques. I'm whiffing on that one. But hey, just got off the Cone Zone. First time on your channel. Thanks for coming by. Called into Grant Cone. Hit him up on the Cone phone. Talk to him. You know, you got to plug the channel at the end. It's just like something you got to do. You just plug it. Let everyone know, hey, come by. So, hey, Jack came by. I'm going to call you Jack for short because I'm botching your name. But thanks for coming by. David in the house. Oh, I love that Bay Area. Ah, what up, faithful? Let's go kick some cowgirl. Let's go. Go Niners. Dale, Cowboys fan here. We will have our hands full with the Niners. What Cowboys player do you think could hurt the Niners the most? You know, that's a good question, Dale. And hey, appreciate you coming by because we welcome fans of all teams, right? The easy answer is Micah Parsons, but I'm going to give you another name, another pass rusher, and it's a guy who I really liked. He's a rookie. Dale, let me know what you're thinking about Sam Williams because he's a guy who I want to monitor. Sam Williams is a defensive end for the Cowboys. He's a rookie, came out of Ole Miss. I really liked him. When I was watching the film on the defensive ends in the offseason, Sam Williams just jumped out off the screen with just his size, explosiveness, his speed. So there's a bit of concern there. You know, I got to be honest. Sam Williams looks like a really good pass rusher. Now I got to look up. I don't know how many sacks he has this year. Now I got to Google it. Sam Williams, NFL. But the dude's explosive. He's a really good pass rusher. We know you got DeMarcus Lawrence, who's a veteran. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence has been one of the best pass rushers in the NFL for years. They got Dante Fowler, so it's like the Cowboys, they got pass rushers, but this dude, Sam Williams, okay, he had 4 sacks this year. So, you know, he's been making some plays. So just an under-the-radar guy, Dale, Sam Williams, monitor that guy. The Dallas Cowboys had the number 1 offense last year, and our defense was not as good as this year. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the Dallas offense this year isn't that good. Beta, I'm not gonna argue with you there. You're right. I opened up the show with the 49ers are the better football team. All right. But they need to play their A game. All right. If the 49ers play their A game, they're not losing. They're better coached. They're more talented. Okay. But if they come out and they're turning the ball over, they got a couple turnovers, and they play a C game, maybe a B- game, and Dallas plays their A game, could be trouble. All right. That's why the 49ers got to play your A game, and it's over. Okay. Tommy says, I'd say Pollard is an explosive running back. Pollard is explosive. I got confidence in our run D, though. I got confidence in the 49ers run D, man. Really do. CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, on offense, Beto, it's CeeDee Lamb. You know, and my biggest concern with CeeDee Lamb is he's going to be in the slot a lot. And I feel like when we play zone, fellas, like the one kind of hole I see, it's not even a hole. It's like a crease, right? If the ball's in the middle of the field, it's like that area of the field just inside the numbers feel like that's the one area where we can be kind of vulnerable to like some curl routes. And it's not like deep passes. It's like you can get an 8-yard curl route on us, like in the seams. You know what I mean? Where it's like Warner's there and Warner's so good in coverage, but he's in the middle of the field and the corners outside. So it's like right between them, there's just a little crease where you can see teams kind of try to pick on it. You know, offensive coordinators know that when 49ers are in zone, that's an area. And CeeDee Lamb, I feel like he's going to be working a lot in that area of the field. And the 49ers, predominantly they play zone, but we do play man. They mix it up. D'Amico keeps you off balance. Sometimes they play man, and it really looks like zone. So D'Amico's doing a good job in that aspect. But our slot corner, right, Jimmy Ward, he's having a great year. He's really good against the run. Jimmy Ward, man-to-man with CeeDee Lamb, makes me nervous. I got to be honest. Fellas. That matchup makes me nervous if the 49ers are playing man. And I feel like the 49ers play man when they're bringing heat, when it's third down and they do send 5, they blitz Warner or they blitz Hufanga off the edge. That's when they play man. And CeeDee Lamb on Jimmy Ward does give me a little bit of concern. Now, hey, if the pressure gets there instantly and Ward only has to cover for a second and a half, then he can do the job. But if the Cowboys pick up the pressure and Dak has 2.5 seconds to, see CeeDee Lamb separate, it's just something to keep an eye on, fellas. Yeah, Dale says Williams is a young dog. Man, I wanted the Niners to draft him. I wanted the Niners to get him. What about that song from Ramstein? This one's over my head, David. Off topic, but the SF Giants will suck. I don't think the Giants are going to suck. We'll save that for another episode, Tommy. And I have given Farhan some heat for not making splash moves, but Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto, I do like those guys. You add a really good reliever in the Rogers brother. So they have made some good moves. I mean, Dalton Schultz is Dak's second favorite pass catcher. One thing I'll say about Dak is he will spread the ball around, right? He'll throw it to Noah Brown. He'll give Noah Brown 3-4 targets. He'll take some shots down the field to Michael Gallup, right? He's going to hit Dalton Schultz. T.Y. Hilton's now working in. So it's like Dak, it's like, well, CeeDee Lamb will see the majority of targets, right? I would expect, let's say if Dak throws it 30 times, I'm thinking CD will have 33% of those, give him 10 targets. Schultz will probably be next with 7 or 8 targets. You got to monitor Dalton Schultz. The thing with Schultz is he's not explosive. He's almost like just the new modern day Jason Witten, right? Where it's, he's smart. He can find the hole in the zone, settle into the soft spot of the zone. But he's not explosive. He's not a yak threat. But he's still a good player. Yeah, Niner sickness is the man. Shout out Beto. Me and Beta, we're trying to link up. We were trying to get a show going. We're going to make it happen. We're going to get it popping. Who has a better chance of Dallas Cowboys beating the Niners on Sunday? Who has a better chance? The Dallas Cowboys beating the Niners on Sunday, or Zach Wilson getting lucky with his mom's other friend? Zach Wilson. Okay. Dale says he's a solid tight end. So even Dale's not pumping up his own guy saying, "Oh, Schultz is some, all pro caliber guy." Although Schultz is probably a top 10 tight end in this league. Schultz is a good player. And he battled some serious knee injuries that he was just playing through. Like a sprained MCL or a sprained MCL. Guy was toughing it out there, man. Tommy says, I can't believe I wanted to draft Whack Wilson. I know, dude. That was me. I've already capitulated. I've spoken my mea culpa on Zach Wilson. I looked myself in the mirror and said, I need to change the way I'm evaluating NFL quarterbacks, right? Because I thought Baker was going to be really good. I thought Zach Wilson was going to be really good. Hell, I even liked Johnny Manziel, although that was quite some time ago. So I looked myself in the mirror and said, I got to do a better job evaluating the quarterback position. This is 100% agree with you, brother, on how we defend the slot. It's just like that's that one crease, just that one spot in the zone where we can kind of be had on some little, 5, 7, 10-yard curl routes. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is more used in the slot. That's why I'm concerned about it. These chats are flying. I love it. I haven't even been able to talk on McCaffrey. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Comments are flying. Shout out to y'all. As a Cowboys fan, the entire defense has me worried. You should be worried, Dale. 49ers got the best linebacking core in the NFL. The DBs are making plays. The defensive line, Cowboys got a good D-line. 49ers got a really good D-line. Yeah. Eric says, I was incorrect on Zach Wilson. You're right, Kim. Hey, I own up to my mistakes. I really liked Zach Wilson pre-draft. I was watching all his games on Saturdays at BYU. Like, I was looking forward to it because he just looked good. He was just making throws all over the field. He was mobile. The improv, it ain't working, and it sounds like he's not serious. He's showing up late to meetings. This is a report that I read on Twitter, so I don't know how accurate it is. His teammates don't like him, right? As soon as Mike White got named, started all wearing Mike White shirts. They don't like him. Talking about Zach Wilson. So that part is hard to measure. You can only see, or at least I can, because I'm not in the locker room. You can only see what's on tape. And I liked Zach Wilson's tape. It hasn't worked out. Has not worked out. Okay, I'm going to scroll through some of these comments. Okay. All right. Christian McCaffrey. Hey, for what it's worth, I called into Cone Phone today, talked to Grant. I said, Grant, give me a bold prediction. He said, Christian McCaffrey, 200 total yards. That'd be big time. And that would go with my theme that the 49ers need to run the ball. Well, McCaffrey could also get chunk yardage in the air, as we know. But most likely, if he has 200 yards, it's going to be probably 140, 150 on the ground. So it can happen. What I love is how Shanahan's putting McCaffrey in motion. He's lining McCaffrey up in the slot. McCaffrey can do all that stuff, man. This dude, you put him in the slot, he's Wes Welker, right? Just a special talent. Kudos to John Lynch. We're all emotional, right? Some people get on Kyle Shanahan. I've more of got on John Lynch. When we and it was ever since he traded DeForest Buckner. Okay, that one hurt me personally because Buckner was just one of my favorite players on the team at the time. So I was upset with John Lynch in that moment. In fact, I remember the day the Buckner trade happened. I got a notification saying that Buckner could be on the move, like it was being speculated, right? So I tweeted John Lynch. You know how John Lynch is on Twitter. I tweeted, don't do it, John. DeForest Buckner's different. This guy's special. You don't let players like that get away. An hour later, I got another notification. DeForest Buckner's been traded. So ever since then, I was hard on John Lynch. I was pissed off. I was emotional. Then you just got to look at the moves he's made. I got over that, right? 49ers kept Armstead, and I wasn't big on the Kinlaw pick. That was another thing that kind of ticked me off because we had heard about the knee issues. Kinlaw, he's big and strong. He's a pocket pusher, but he's not like he's a technician who's going to get a bunch of sacks, like with instant wins, like Aaron Donald. And it's like when you draft a defensive tackle, top 15 picks of the draft, in my opinion, they can't just be run defenders. Like you got to be like Chris Jones, like dominant. So I gave John Lynch some pushback, but hey, man, you know what? Forgive me, John Lynch, because you got this man right here. This man right here, Christian McCaffrey. Freaking big time. Just such a clutch move. You know, this team needed that. The 49ers were 3-3 when they made that trade for Christian McCaffrey. All right, fellas. Now is what you guys have been waiting for, or should have been waiting for. We're about to get into some crystal ball predictions. Okay. Let me change this. Sorry, McCaffrey. I gotta take you off of here. Okay. I gotta go turn off the lights, dude. That way you guys get the full effect. Yeah. Let's get out some crystal ball predictions. You guys are gonna like this. Where are we at? Yeah. Here it is. We got the crystal ball. It was not easy to find. I'm not gonna tell you where I had to get this crystal ball from. But the point is, we got one. And supposedly, it's going to tell me what's going on in this game coming up against the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? Yes, we do. We miss you, Defo. Tommy says CMC equals the MVP. Kim says, you don't have a magic 8-ball? No, I don't. I got a crystal ball. Okay? Let's see what we got here. So let's see if this crystal ball will speak to me. Okay. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. I'm getting a vibe. It's about Talanoa Hufanga. Just speak to me, crystal ball. Yes. Talanoa Hufanga's flying all over the place, making plays. Right? What am I seeing? Interception, Talanoa Hufanga. Crystal ball prediction number 1. Talanoa Hufanga. We know he had 4 picks in the first 7 or 8 games, whatever it was. Hasn't had a pick since, all right? Talanoa Hufanga's due. He's due for a pick, and I think it's coming Sunday against Dak Prescott. Yo, hit that like button right now. More people. I got more crystal ball predictions that more people got to see, but we got to push the algorithm up. That way people can see this crystal ball action we got going on. Talanoa Hufanga, interception. I just seen it in the crystal ball. All right. He's going to jump a route. He's going to pick something off. Let's see what the chat's saying about the crystal ball. Tommy says, here we go. Telling you, I ain't messing around. Kelt says, oh, snap, a freaking crystal ball. Kelts. I can't tell you how I got it, but I got the crystal ball. I got that crystal. That's what's up, Melissa. How you like it? And what did the crystal ball tell you about the game coming up on Sunday? You can share your crystal ball predictions as well. Actually, chat, let me know. What are you thinking? What are your predictions? What are your crystal ball predictions? There it is. And you can use that little crystal ball emote down there too. That's like practically the same thing. Are you guys ready for crystal ball prediction number 2? Let's see what we got. Let me clear this comment right here. Let me clear this comment. See if we can get crystal ball prediction number 2 out of this thing. Come on, speak to me. Speak to me. Let me know. Oh, yes. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Here's what I'm seeing, fellas. I'm seeing Brandon Ayuk. I'm getting flashes of Brandon Ayuk, okay? Brandon Ayuk runs arguably the best slant route, post route, whatever in-breaking route there is, glance route as the kids like to call it now. Runs it the best in the league, all right? He's so sudden with his route running. He's so quick with his cut, so decisive. He's got great acceleration out of his break. But let me tell you what the crystal ball is telling me. Ayuk's making a play, a big play. It's a touchdown. It's a long touchdown. Crystal ball prediction number 2 is Brandon Ayuk, 50-yard, 40-yard plus touchdown. He breaks one off. Thank you, crystal ball. Seems to be crystal ball's feeling the Niners right now, fellas. Let me know if you're getting that vibe. Okay, let's see if it's got a third one for me. Let's see if it's got a third one for me. Kelts is predicting Armstead rubbing the tummy. You know what? I could see that too. I could see that too, Kelts. I see that too, Kelts. Do you see it? You might be seeing it on your screen right now. Armstead rubbing tummies. That's fact. Shout out Kelts. Kelts is saying 2 TDs. Woo! Love it. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Hope I'm wrong, but Purdy turns it over once. Hey. As long as we get 1 or 2 back from Dak, I'm not concerned. Okay. I missed some predict. Kim said prediction 2 takeaways by the 49ers. Okay, Kim. I feel you. Whoa. Oh no, we ain't doing no cowboy blue. We ain't doing no cowboy blue. Oh. Ooh, let's see what this one tells me. Yeah. I'm seeing the D line. I'm seeing the D line getting after Dak. But it's not Bosa. Bosa's in there. But what I just saw was big number 90. Kevin Givens. Kevin Givens making tackles for loss, busting through offensive lines, getting through that Dallas Cowboy offensive line. Kevin Givens, tackle for loss. And what else? What's that, crystal ball? A QB hit? Is it it's a little fun. Is it a sack? Is it a QB hit? No, it is a QB hit. Kevin Givens showing up and showing out Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, it's the crystal ball that's making these predictions. You like that, Bebop? Kim says 2 sacks by Menahu. That'd be big time. That would be big time. How many takeaways? How many takeaways? We know the crystal ball said Hufanga's getting an interception. Two. Two takeaways, Melissa. That's how I'm feeling. Bebop says Kittle, 100 yards plus. That would be huge. That'd be big time, Bebop. Okay. Whoops. We got to cycle through this thing. Crystal ball's changing colors on me. Okay, there we go. There it is. That concludes the crystal ball predictions. All right, the last thing, let's see. Last thing I got for you guys before we wrap this thing up. We already hit the hour mark. Chat's been live. So shout out to y'all. Now I'm a little dim. I turned off the light so the crystal ball, you guys could see the crystal ball's glow. Let me get the light back on. Let me get the light back on here. All right, there we go. There we go. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right, last thing I want to do, let's just pull up the Cowboys depth chart and just see what they got going on. Just so we know what to watch, what to look out for, right? Who's on the field, who the Cowboys got, okay? So we're looking at here, it looks like I got to zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this a little better. Okay, right there. We're looking at the defense. Before we go to the offensive side of the ball, let's check out the defense. Let me know if I need to make it bigger. But let's start off with that D-line I was talking about. Okay, Micah Parsons, 91.7 PFF grade. We know he's really good. Okay, on the other side, DeMarcus Lawrence, good pass rusher. Now, in the middle, see a couple average grades, a below average grades with this guy Watkins. Now, the Cowboys they're going to be rotating bodies similar to how the Niners do. But that's just who you can look out for. Odigizua will be inside. He's solid. But let's go to this linebacker core because that's where I think the 49ers can exploit this Cowboy defense. Okay. Anthony Barr, Leighton Vander Esch. These dudes, they're not the most agile. Okay. Anthony Barr, he's a Madden sensation because he's 6'5" and he's got good straight line speed. But when you're talking agility, like if he gets matched up on Christian McCaffrey coming out of the backfield, that's a mismatch. Even Vander Esch. Vander Esch is a big, physical, like Vander Esch is a solid football player, but it's a mismatch if he's lined up on Christian McCaffrey. So I'm looking to create some mismatches, get some favorable matchups. That's what I'm looking to do. Okay, looking at the secondary, Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson, that guy flies around. He flies around making plays. Okay. Is J-Ron Curse. J-Ron Curse, we see him right here. Looks like he's doing pretty good in run defense by PFF standard. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay, Trayvon Diggs, we know what he's all about. A bit of a boomer bust style of DB. He's taking a lot of chances. Hey, maybe Ayuk gets him on a double move, right? We saw the crystal ball prediction. Big play touchdown by Brandon Ayuk. My guess would be it comes on Trayvon Diggs. Then Bland. Bland's actually the higher graded corner between the two. Deron Bland. Rookie, huh? Drafted in 22. Fresno State? Shout out Fresno State, man. Okay. So that's all the analysis I got right there about the defense. Let's just flip it over to the offense so we know you guys know what to expect, who's out there. Let's look at this O-line. Let's zoom in on this O-line here first, okay? Because Tyler Smith, this guy, he's split time. He's played some guard this year. He's played some tackle. He's another guy. He's a rookie, right? Oh, first round. So he was their first round pick. He's been playing pretty good ball. Or actually, when I want to attack, which tackle do I want to attack? I'm actually looking at the former All Pro. I mean, Tyron Smith, you saw the grade, a 62.4 grade. They have shifted him over to right tackle. So I might be testing out him. Yeah, he's coming off a big injury. He played the last handful of games, but how's he really feeling? Because the PFF grade ain't looking so hot. So let's test him out. I might be the guy. I might line up Bosa over him to start out. Inside, Zach Martin. Guy's been a good guard for a long time in this league. The center, I don't know much about this dude. Tyler Biadasz, what does that mean? Let's go after him. Let's find out what he's made of. Can he handle a bull rush with Eric Armstead, 6'8", 300 pounds, bearing down on him? Can he withstand that? Tyler, can you? Let's find out. All right, and this is where you see actually Connor McGovern, the pass blocking grade isn't that bad. The pass blocking grade is actually pretty good, solid. It's good. But the run blocking grade is awful. But still, I want to test this guy because he's been on their bench. When Jason Peters went down and they kicked out Tyler Smith to tackle, Connor McGovern was the guy off the bench coming in. All right, so the Cowboys don't think that highly of him if he wasn't already in their starting line. So I want to test out left guard Connor McGovern. That would, that's Kinlaw, that's Givens. Givens, that might be who Givens makes some plays against. Okay, rounding out, just to look at the offense. CeeDee Lamb, the dude's really good. I know I've been in these YouTube chats for Niners fans. I know CeeDee Lamb. Would he have 1 or 2 catches last year? He had a bad game in that wild card game. CeeDee Lamb's a really good football player. You got to know where he's at all times. Okay, he's Dak's favorite target, and he's a weapon. He's also good after the catch. He can win downfield. So you got to know where CeeDee Lamb is at all times. T.Y. Hilton is in the fold. Michael Gallup is kind of their deep shot guy. Like if they start testing Charvarius Ward, Diamador Lenore downfield with some go balls, it's probably with Michael Gallup. I mean, CeeDee Lamb can do that too, but that's what Gallup does. That's Gallup's biggest strength, in my opinion, as a wide receiver, is winning downfield. And they got another guy, Noah Brown, who can get some targets. We know about the running backs, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott. Pollard's definitely more explosive. But hey, that's about all I got for you today, fellas. I'll roll through these comments one last time. You guys have been killing it with the comments. Bebop says, Dak, most INTs. Niners led the league in INTs. Oh, that's a really good point. Dak's throwing picks, and the 49ers have been getting them. Sounds like Bebop thinks there's going to be 2-3 interceptions thrown by Dak Prescott. Am I reading you right, Bebop? Hey, fellas, it's been a blast. You guys have fun on Sunday. I'm going to be pumped up watching this game. hopefully with with some friends, with some family, have a few pops, and should be a fun one, man. I want a Super Bowl, dude. I want a Super Bowl. Okay, I was 4 years old last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl. I want to be able to celebrate, go to a parade if I choose to. It's a fun time. I would imagine, So hey, let's get the win on Sunday. Shout out to the chat. Y'all were live. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, tell a buddy because shit's going to be popping. Crystal Ball's coming back. 49ers win. We're doing more predictions. So it's going to be going down. Catch y'all